I say, you guys have been preaching marriage for a decade, and the rates of marriage have still been going down. Why? Because the cost is too high and the quality of women is too low. How do you fix it?
Do you want to get married?
By the way, Pearl recently has been cleaning up very nice, right? She looks much better when she does a makeup. Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. But I would. I would.
Oh, you nasty ass bastard! You fucking nasty ass motherfucker! That's nasty, man.
All I look is at what people do.
No, I'm not talking about your individual desires at all. I'm talking about desire itself and the relation of desire to. You seem to be saying that people exercise their free will in something like a vacuum, and therefore they bear all of the moral responsibility. And I'm saying that we're a social creature, and there's more to it than that.
Do you? I'm just confused. Do you think you're responsible for the choices you make?
I think I am a moral agent, and I bear moral responsibility, and that my ability to exercise my will is conditioned by my environment, by the laws and the customs.
You think the environment's responsible for the choices you make?
No, that's not what I said. I said I'm a moral agent, and I'm responsible for my
Okay, so you
actions.
are responsible.
But my free will, my ability to exercise my will, is conditioned by the laws and the customs and the community in which I live, which is why it's not merely an individual question, but it's also a political question for human beings who are the political animal.
Well,
Let me put it to you this way, Pearl. Do you think it's women that's going into men's bank accounts and taking half of their shit by force? Or is it the men over there from the government with the guns that are taking half of men's resources by force? So there's a system that incentivizes. You have to think about this, Pearl. You need to look at fucking incentives. When you look at people, you need to look at incentives. So there's a system that incentivizes a woman to get divorce, right? Called alimony, child support. That's created by the government. And then you're telling women, well, I know this incentive is created here. We got this incentive here by the government, but you shouldn't choose it. What? That statement right there shows such a lack and inability to understand human nature. I can't even comprehend that level of insanity. Everyone's responsible for their individual choices, but you have to understand that us humans, we operate on incentives. You cannot create an incentive and expect someone to act in a superiorly highly moral way that they don't want to take advantage of the incentives that's provided for them. So the government provides the incentive that if you get married, if you have a child, the government is going to step in and take care of that child and act as a father. So what does that do? Well, when you have children, no time in the history of man has this existed that you can have a child and now that child becomes a resource for you. No time in history can you have a child and the child becomes a way to gather resources. A child has always been a liability. But now, because of the welfare system, which is 90% single mothers, by the way, right? Now a child becomes a tool to gain resources. So that incentive is there. So you're going to have more women picking Tyrones, Chads, right? Because the consequences of being promiscuous and having sex and getting pregnant and having a child, those consequences are removed through the state, through the government. Now, you see, in the past, right? In the past, Pearl, when a woman got pregnant, no man wanted her because no man wanted to raise another man's child. So that woman will serve as an example of what not to do or how not to behave to other women. How can you do that in our current society when there's no consequences because the government removes the consequences from not having a man there, from choosing horrible men that's not going to be in the children's life. Can't do it. Like, this is what Pearl's doing. Pearl is literally asking, right? It's literally not asking. Pearl is expecting. And this is the problem where you just have talking points, because most of Pearl things is talking points, but I don't think she can really engage with what Michael was saying here. So imagine giving someone having the opportunity to cash in a lottery check, and you're telling them, listen, you have to be morally superior and don't cash that check. Who in their right fucking mind, right? Who in their right mind is not going to cash a lottery check? The incentive is too high. I think it would be more productive to acknowledge the involvement and role the government plays in influencing our lives and propagandizing not only women, but men as well.
There should be mandatory DNA testing at birth.
No.
I don't know why you, okay.
Because it's calling my wife a whore to do that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Why?
Michael, I would love to hear the moral argument. Why are you morally opposed to parenthesis test, right? The DNA test. Just because you feel like it's inappropriate. Whatever the fuck that means. Or it's inappropriate. Imagine telling that to in a business situation. You really have to look at it and put it in a business situation. Imagine going into business with another man. Or it could be another woman. But let's say that you're going into business with someone and you want to sign a contract stating that, I don't know, you want to make certain agreements between you. And you say, well, that would be inappropriate. Well, I feel offended. You don't trust me? You don't trust me that you want me to sign this contract? Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, that is so out of my like level of just basic common sense and logic that I don't even know how to respond to something just so idiotic. There is enough, again, Michael, I would love to hear the moral argument against asking a woman and requiring a woman outside of the government, but a man to ask and require a woman for a DNA test for their children. I would love to hear it.
But in that case, then the parents get divorced? I thought you just said we're going to ban divorce.
No. Well, okay, if she's committing fraud, then yeah.
She's committing adultery. You think adultery is grounds for divorce? I thought you said we're going to ban divorce.
Oh, this stuff is serious, Michael. And you are not going to see marriage return until you start enacting policies that protect men from the institution of marriage as it is today.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but we don't disagree on that.
Now, I don't believe that divorce should be banned. My take on the whole situation with divorce is that government should have no say in it. There should be no government involvement or intervention when it comes to marriage. Period. Take out government completely out of marriage. The reason that we have the issues that we have with marriage is because of government involvement. If you were to remove government involvement today from marriage, you will see a completely drastic change the next day. I will even predict that you will see an increase in men actually wanting to get married. 100%. I mean, 100%. I mean, the studies are very clear that marriage benefits men. The only thing that doesn't benefit men is divorce. And government involvement in marriage is the main deterrent of marriage. Marriage itself as a institute is not the issue. The issue, again, and there's always been the issue, is government involvement in marriage. Remove government completely. What people decide to do freely of their own accord is their choice. Once they enter the contract, they want to break that contract, they could deal with that themselves or within the community. The government shouldn't have any say. The conversation should evolve around not how can government improve marriage, is how can government get the fuck out of marriage. That should be the conversation. And That conversation was had in this debate. It was like, how can we get government to improve? So it's think about it. Government involvement cause all the troubles and problems in marriage. So how can we get more government involvement to fix the problems caused by government? It's fucking nutty, man. This is insane, right? It's insane. And with that, I'm going to bring the video to an end. I don't want to make this video too long. I think it's already long as it is. So if you like the video, give it a like. If you dislike the video, give it a like. Give it a dislike too. It's good for engagement. Leave any comments and feedback, what you think about the video, down below. And as always, see you next time. Later.